Guys, welcome back to another unscripted podcast, live this time. This episode's we're going to talk about our favourite thing, football, obviously. So I'm joined with Kieran and obviously Kevin. We're going to firstly speak about the Celtic and Rangers Old Firm.
Where do we start?
Going into it, I thought like it could be a tight game, but like also obviously because we've been on such a good run, I was like, we're gonna steamroll them, and then like they scored straight away, and I was a bit like,
First 5 minutes they came out flying, didn't they?
Yeah, I was kind of worried at that point. I was a bit like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
we're gonna steamroll us here. It's gonna be like one of those kind of classic 4-0, and then we'll be like sitting there thinking, what happened? but yeah, I thought like. Defensively, I want to talk about that first because I thought it was like a new side to Andrew's team.
Yeah. We've not seen that yet. We've only seen the attacking football, possession, the way they move the ball, but they went into a game where they went 1-0 down, they've had to fight back and then defend for like, the majority of the game. And it's a completely new side, and I was surprised. I didn't think they had it in them.
It's the sort of thing that Celtic this season haven't had to really do. You know, they're so used to being on the ball and controlling the game and just attacking. So to see them actually have the defensive capabilities, it's quite promising. Especially, we'll touch on it later, but especially in Europe now, I think that's where Celtic have been caught lacking recently. But it shows that this team is capable, and if we can make the signings for next season, then there's potential there. Good progress.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think in terms of like the defence, do you think like you were talking about with Europe, like they need to like, you saw like in Europe obviously like Rangers set up with like 2 defensive midfielders. Do you think that's something that Celtic need to copy in terms of being more defensively solid? Because like at Ibrox I could see that they were setting 2 of their midfielders in front of the centre backs to stop it going through the middle. So it constantly went out wide, and then it was like Ken and Tavernier just putting aimless balls into the centre backs. I think in Europe that's something that they need to try and copy, and I think going forward he needs to buy another bigger centre mid next to McGregor. And I think if Julian's going to go, which I think is quite likely, and then Welsh will probably go, you've only got 2 centre backs really. And, well, if you buy Carter Vickers,
yeah, no, that's a must. I think Carter Vickers, we need to get him. I think for me he's been one of the standouts right from the start. He's been so consistent. I think we need to sign him as well as others, but start from the defence, like you were saying, we need to go with the 2 holding midfielders. I think because we've been a wee bit stubborn, thinking going into the Europe games we'll just pass teams about and play beautiful football, but we've learnt like so many times that that's not how it works.
I saw a poll on like Twitter, was like, would you rather have Carter Vickers or Jota on a permanent? Posing that to both of you.
Carter Vickers.
Would you?
Yeah, because we've got good enough attacking. I think because we've got Maidan, Giacomakis, Abada, Forrest. I mean, we've got good depth, but it's just the centre backs that are a wee bit of a problem. Like you were saying, if both of them could go, Julian and Welsh, we're going to be left with 2 or 3.
I mean, Jota's a good player, but there's always going to be wingers that we can get. There's always going to be good wingers out there that are young, and that we can get in good deals. But I think for many years now we've struggled to get a good centre back partnership and find good solid centre backs who are fit and consistent. So I think that needs to be the priority.
Yeah.
So like in terms of Celtic's team for Europe, what are, like, apart from the centre back area, do you think there's anywhere else that like they need to improve?
I don't know. People have been saying about left back and right back, but for me, left back Greg Taylor's just been improving every game. Like, I'll hold my hands up. I was one that was criticising him as well, but he's shut me up, and I think he's shut quite a few people up as well. He's been absolutely brilliant, especially defensively against Rangers.
I do still think they need someone on that left side who either challenges him or competes with him, because I think in Europe he does get a bit exposed, obviously, because I know he's improving and getting better, but like even then I'm just a bit like, what was like at the Bodo Glimt game he was exposed like no tomorrow. Like, I mean, that doesn't help when you've got Rogic in the midfield who doesn't really press and defend as well as the others in midfield, but like I think left back is an area, and I think maybe if Forrest and Dembele go, I think there's someone on the right the guy from Bodo Glimt, the Soldatskin guy, you heard?
Solbakken?
Solbakken.
Yeah.
Yeah, him. I think he's
He
someone
was
they
good,
should look
man. He was
into
good.
because he's a free agent, and I think that's
We
something.
need to get, he was offered to Celtic last summer.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was like, why not?
Yeah.
It's like, obviously Forrest isn't getting any younger, but I think Forrest will stay and be a sort
Yeah,
of.
he'll be like a one club man. I don't think he'll go.
Nah, he's gonna stay for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, that's the only other area. CDM, centre back, left back, and right mid. I think they need to strengthen year on year because like you're a big club. Obviously, you're gonna have to compete. That's what Rangers haven't done. And that's why they've fallen behind effectively.
Yeah.
Because as soon as Morelos goes out of that team,
They look completely
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so confusing to me how like they're so good in Europe, but they're relatively poor in the league.
And then it's the opposite for Celtic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it.
but like even like with the European performances, there's elements of their game that they do put in the Scottish games that they play, but like I think it's just I think it's down to like a motivation thing, to be honest.
You think so?
I think some of those players like Barisic and that are more pumped up for the European games, and then when they play like the likes of St Mirren or St
Yeah.
Johnston, they're just like, oh, I can't be bothered.
Because I don't think they like understand because obviously they're not Scottish and they don't understand how much the league actually means to the fans, obviously. And when they've got a big game in Europe, they're thinking there's teams will be watching. I'll try and get a bigger move, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
I mean, they've achieved their goal stopping 10.
Yeah.
So, that was last year was really
The Diddy
the
Cup.
priority.
Yeah.
So, I think now, yeah, they've been consistent in Europe actually the last few
Very
years
good.
under Gerrard as
Very
well.
good.
They've been playing well. Yeah, I think Celtic just need to try and replicate that form.
Yeah, 100%.
As much as it pains me, it's like
Just need
they
to
ha-
adapt.
Yeah, they have to slightly tweak Ange's style, and like if they don't, they're just gonna get exposed. Especially in the Champions League, it's like you can't miss loads of chances like we have been doing.
Need
To
to
be
be
honest,
clinical.
need to be
Big
clinical, and at the back you can't fall asleep for a second, or you'll get
Mhm.
exposed no matter the team. Because like even if you look at like. I mean, the other game the other week with like the Chelsea Madrid game, it's like one mistake, Benzema scores, and it's just like
Nah, he's world class, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's the best number 9, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Like you need to take the chances when it comes.
Yeah. Speaking of Benzema, like, do you think he deserves like a Ballon d'Or?
So far this season, yeah.
If they go on to win the Champions League and he like scores in every game from now
Mhm.
until the final, I think it's like one of the best runs by a player on his own.
100%. He's got 12 goals in 9 games in the Champions League. I mean, he's phenomenal, man.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the difference though that players make. I mean, Real Madrid is a class team, but the fact they've got one player who really can change a game on his head and just completely switch it like that.
Yeah.
But even like Modric as well, he's like 36 and it's him and
See what he
Benzema.
runs about though.
I
Full game.
don't get it. Like with an older striker, I understand because you can slow down your game and sort of. But he is in the busiest part of the pitch, and he has to be the fittest person on the pitch, and he's still running about. And he gets better as the game goes on. It's
Yeah.
like the game in the week. It's like the last 20 minutes, he was the best player on the pitch. I was like, how are you doing this?
100%.
He's 36.
Because it's not as if like when people say like for Ronaldo and older players that they can serve their energy. For him, it's not. He's always running. He's always on the move.
It's bizarre. It's like I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. It's like if I was 36, I'd give up about after 45 minutes.
That'd be done.
And then these players have also got all the top of the range facilities and
Of course. Yeah.
physios and all that, so that probably does help a bit.
Mm.
Just built different.
I am going back to Celtic and Rangers, but
Yeah.
I want to
Get carried away so easily,
I
don't we?
want to talk about the game tomorrow. Obviously, this is when we're recording it. It's a Saturday. Gonna go around the table. Predictions.
Nah, don't do this.
Kieran. We did speak about this briefly.
2-2 after full time, 3-2 after extra time. Celtic.
Somehow, okay. Kieran.
I don't think it will be comfortable, but I think we'll win. By how much? I don't know. I think they'll score. 1 at least. Giacomakis is a big miss. I don't think Maeda will have that. Although he'll run all day long, but I just don't think he'll have that
Impact.
physical impact that Giacomakis has. It'll be a close game. I think it will be either 2-1 or 3-1.
I think it'll go extra time as well.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be 2 each, and I think it'll be penalties.
That'd be a great game, but wow.
And I think Hart will save like 2 penalties in the penalty shootout.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that they're just going to be really resolute and sort of sit in, soak up all the pressure, and then they'll score 2 goals on the break where we've left loads of gaps in the full-back areas.
I mean, they've played 120 minutes on Thursday.
Yeah, they're going to have.
They'll be shattered.
They can't.
Celtic have had a week's break, so in theory we should be better and more prepared.
They're the ones who should be sitting in and waiting. I think they'll do what the Celtic did at Ibrox and
Get
try
a
to
goal,
just sit and wait.
They'll come out flying, I think, first 10-15 minutes to try and get that early goal. And then if they do, I think they're just going to park the bus.
I think they can get an early goal though, because I still think there is frailties on that Celtic backline. And I think sometimes Hart, as good as he is, like sometimes
just holds onto the ball.
Or he's really kind of drastic and panicky with the ball, and I'm like, relax. He's got a mistake in him, but I'm a bit like, I don't know. It's going to be a close game.
So I think it's going to come down to the starting lineup.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Who do you think will start for Celtic? Starting from, obviously, you run through your whole team and sort of.
Probably Hart, Starfelt, Carter Vickers. It's probably going to be Taylor and Jovanovic, I think. My worry is Jovanovic, he was caught whacking at Ibrox, and I think he'll be the target man for Rangers. Hoping Boric, McGregor. But it's the front three is the big issue. It's probably going to be Abada, Maeda, and then Jota.
Yeah.
And just like we said earlier, like Maeda, I think he's great, but he just doesn't have that physical presence. We can't hit the ball up to him. And I think Abada's going to. He's good, but he's just inconsistent. I don't know if he's going to have the same impact.
Yeah, like he can go like 80 minutes without doing nothing and mistakes, and then he pops up with a goal. A bit like Forrest, but obviously he's got more goals and assists. I like Abada. He's obviously still young, but he's got a long way to go.
Who do you think will start? You pretty much
basically the same back line. I think it will be McGregor, Hatate and Rogic, and then the front three, Abada, Jota and Maeda. We can really hurt them with the over-the-top ball because Goldson and Balogun or whoever's playing at centre half.
They're
not quick. Any defender's not quicker than Maeda anyway, but that's the thing. See if they know he's starting, they'll automatically drop back a wee bit.
I'm going to throw a curveball. I think O'Reilly's going to start instead of Rogic.
I can see that.
I can see that.
I think he will because of what he did at the weekend. And I think he offers more in terms of pressing. I think he's more mobile, and I think the game at Celtic Park, they're going to try and replicate that. And I think O'Reilly and Hatate sort of provide that sort of.
Yeah, I love how long sleeves play.
Yeah, he just looks like a baller, doesn't he?
Yeah. His goal at the weekend, the one where he shifts it into his leg, was the top corner.
Chris Collins type.
50-60 passes before that.
Yeah, it was a great goal. But yeah, I think if Rogic does start and they start like Kamara, Lundstrom and Jack, I think the midfield could be getting overrun.
Lundstrom's looking good.
He's
really strong.
He's really good. He's been on good form.
Roof
as well. He's been on good form. He actually didn't do anything. Frankly, he didn't do anything in the last Old Firm game, but hat trick against St Mirren. Who did he score? Did he score against Braga?
Yeah, he scored
against Braga. He scored the winner. So he's high on confidence, and I think he'll score tomorrow. He'll be the difference maker for Rangers. They talk about Kent as well, £50 million player.
But like, I think that's on both sides. So it's like, obviously, they do it to wind. We do it to wind each other up. But like, at the end of the day, Kent is a very up and down sort of player.
He's very good.
He's very good on his day, but like on another day, he's absolutely
woeful.
He's woeful and he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this the same player? And I get a bit confused watching him as well sometimes because I'm like, stick to the things you're good at and don't try and overcomplicate it because I feel like he does do that a lot.
Every pro club's team's got a Ryan Kent.
100%.
Like 88 overall, but he just is so inconsistent. But occasionally he'll skin a couple of players and score a screamer.
Nice side. He's watching. But yeah, I think if he turns up, he's another worry. But like, I think Jota is what Kent should be in terms of consistency because Jota every game is like a 7 out of 10. At least he has a few where he's a bit quiet, but like You know, that's when the whole team.
You always know that Jota can produce something out of nothing. You don't know that with Kent.
Yeah. But if it's in Europe, he'll.
Yeah, oh mate, he looks brilliant in Europe, man. That's again, it's so confusing to me how you were saying the two different teams.
Yeah, but yeah, I've completely forgotten what we were.
Kyogo to come off the bench.
Yeah,
and score the
Kyogo.
winner.
Oh, that man.
And said he's not fit though. He says he's not fit to play 90
The film,
minutes.
yeah. So I think he'll be better.
120.
He'll come on.
But the worry is if he comes on in the 60th minute and say like we're winning 1-0. What happens if it goes to extra time? He has to play another. There's a worry that he could get injured again.
It is what it is. It's the risk we need to take.
But I think he'll play anyway. I think he'll want to play.
I think he'll come on.
Because apparently he's been going around the training ground saying I'm fit, I'm ready to answer that in one of his interviews. But like,
I know it's different when you're saying that you're fit, but it's another thing shown. Like, do you know what I mean? Like they've got the physios, they've got all the scientists that show like you're not 100%, but you should be anyway.
It'll be a close game.
100%. It'll be a good one.
We'll move down the border to English Premier League. There's a lot to talk about. Talk about the Liverpool Man City sort of title race.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
It's incredible, I think, to be honest. As much as it pains me to say as a Man United fan, but like
they just push each other every single week, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, even like some games they don't even play that well, and they still manage to win 2-3 now.
Nah, that's crazy.
And I'm just like, this is remarkable.
Yeah, I mean they've set the bar so high for each other and for other teams like Arsenal and Man U to get back to the top. They've set the bar so high. Like if you want to win, you need to be as good as us.
I don't think another team will win the league until Klopp or Pep go.
Think so, aye?
No, I think those two will win it until they go. One of them goes, because I just think maybe Tuchel, but like that team at the moment with their financial problems is going to take a season or two to get back to where they were in terms of recovery. Man United and Arsenal and Tottenham are so far off. Well, not so far off. Their clubs are so badly run that I just don't see anything happening anytime soon from those three. Maybe an FA Cup, maybe a League Cup,
Community Shield,
I don't know, Conference League, anything,
absolutely anything, just
pre-season trophy, pre-season trophy,
Iron Brew Cup,
Iron Brew Cup or something. But yeah, it is remarkable. But again, one thing that bugs me that Sky Sports do, they big it up like it's like the biggest rivalry that has ever graced the earth.
No way, man.
It's like it's so kind of fabricated that what they've done. And it's like Liverpool versus Man City, and it's live.
If you're big up saying it's the most fearsome rivalry to date and all that.
It's like, have you forgotten about Arsenal and Man United in the early 2000s, or Chelsea and Man United with Mourinho and Ferguson?
Yeah,
the list goes on. Even like, it's like, would you even class any of the rivalries in England a proper football rivalry anymore because of the money?
Nah, none in the Prem anyway. But
the only one in the Prem, Liverpool and Everton.
Think so?
Because of how close they are.
Yeah,
and that's it. Liverpool, Man United, maybe.
You always know that Liverpool, Everton. You always know that Liverpool are going to win. You're going into the game thinking Liverpool are going to smash them.
Yeah, but it's still got that sort of kind of
of course,
thing that the football up here has with like Hearts, Hibs, and like Celtic, Rangers, and I think Celtic, Rangers, Hearts, Hibs are the two kind of only remaining proper.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even if you look at the game today, it was
the challenges that were flying in that Edinburgh derby, man. That's what you're loving, man.
None of them would stand in the English Premier League.
5 red cards then.
Yeah, 5 red cards. I don't like it though that they've really softened the game up. As much as I get it and I understand contact and all that, but like you could legit go down because of that, and it'd be like a penalty. And
I'd be shouting ref.
Yeah, shouting ref, red card, penalty, and then there you go. It's just like I don't like it, but like I suppose the game's the game, isn't it? But I feel like it encourages players as well to dive. Well, not dive, but like if they feel contact, they'll go down.
You sound like a football dad.
I know. Miss the old days, man.
The old days, man.
The old days we used to break someone's leg and get away with a yellow.
It's all gone soft. But it's like even like growing up playing football. Like when we were playing at that amateur level, like with 14, 15, it's like the amount of tackles that went in.
They were flying. Nah, you just got up and played.
Got up and carried on, and it's like nowadays, what are kids gonna think when they look at all those players like diving about and all that? It's like I don't get it.
Nah.
But it's interesting when you hear like Kieran Trippier talking about his experience over
Oh,
Atletico Madrid
Mm-hmm.
and how they're all diving about in training.
Mm.
It's just a whole different culture and a whole different football and education.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I mean, even if you look at the Atletico Man City game,
That was what was Felipe thinking? I mean, obviously he was wanting to leave one onto Foden,
He
and
won
then
them
he's
all.
going like, I didn't touch him. What do you mean?
That's
You lashed
it's
out.
so bizarre when players
Same
go right
with
through
Savage.
someone and then they're like, I've never touched them.
Same with Savage. What's he doing?
I don't get it when people like players say I didn't touch him, and I was like, there's like 25 cameras around the stadium
Yeah,
looking
I
at
know.
you in
Yeah.
the game. How do you think you can get
The
away
ref's
with
not
that?
dumb. The ref's
Yeah.
seen what you've done.
They should do what they do in the rugby, where they replay it on the big screens.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
I see it.
brilliant. Imagine they did that with like people diving as well. But quietly, I quite like to say players getting kicked. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, that's
Foden knew what he was doing anyway when he was rolling onto the pitch.
oh, yeah,
but
but they were all
it
doing
gives
it.
him no right to go up and start grabbing him and like right up each other's
Well,
throats and headbutting.
they might have done a Liverpool a favour.
Oh yeah, for today's game.
Got a few
yeah.
injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think all those tackles going in and sort of the English media portraying like Atletico's thugs. Did you see what the Atletico president said about Man City? They came here as a really defensive team. And they put a wall in front of the goal, and I was like, were you watching the same game?
As if they don't do it week in, week out.
They've-
Do you know what I mean?
They've done it for the whole run of the Champions League against United, City, in the group games against Liverpool. The same group as Liverpool, weren't
Yeah.
they? They were just sitting in and waiting. I was like, how can you talk about
As much as you
boring
don't like them,
football?
you have to admire them.
I admire the complete shithousery from them.
Like
It's-
they're disciplined until like the 80th minute, until they just start absolute the dark arts, the diving, the wasting time.
they should have got another goal, to be honest. Like
Mhm.
Carrera missed
Carrera missed 3 chances. Yeah.
the very last one when the ball comes across and sort of like he hits it straight at Ederson. I think he could do so much better in that
Yeah.
position as a striker.
Shows as well, Man City are vulnerable. They can
Mhm.
switch off, which will be Liverpool's advantage because I think Liverpool's attacking. I mean, Diaz, Jota, Firmino, Salah, Mane. I mean, that's
Such a good team.
all you need to say. That's so threatening.
I think that's another thing that Liverpool have actually went and strengthened their team quietly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I think the only area in the pitch now that they need to properly is probably the midfield in
Mhm.
terms of replacing Henderson and Keita.
Keita.
Mhm.
Keita.
Keita's not even old, but he's just too injury prone, isn't he? He's only what, 26, 27?
Mhm.
I think it's like Fabinho is probably the only one there that I would put in the City midfield. Like if you
Yeah.
if you're
If you
thinking
could take one out, yeah.
take one out, it's like he's the only one.
Do you think so? Not even Salah?
No, I mean like in just the midfield.
Oh, from the
area.
midfield?
Oh, Salah and Mane would go in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I don't even like thinking about combining the two teams. Who would you like in goal? That's difficult as well. Ederson or Alisson?
Alisson for me.
Yeah.
Ederson's a bit of a crackpot, man. He's crazy. He's a class keeper, but he's crazy.
Right back. I'd go Walker.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Mm.
I know. I was, you know,
They're not bad options, but
you know why? Because I think Walker is more rounded as a
yeah,
player.
he's got everything.
Yeah. Arnold put him in midfield and
I love Trent, man.
don't give him any sort of. Or if you play a different formation, say you play 3 back and play 2 wing backs, but that means you have to get rid of someone up front. So it's like
I still think Trent can't defend.
I don't think.
I still think he can't, but from what he makes up for his attacking play, like people don't really pay attention to it.
I don't rate Grealish.
Oh, no one. Nah. I think he's a perfect player for Aston Villa. Like,
Yeah.
like all due respect, like the size of Aston Villa, like he's probably best suited to a team like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
But 100 million.
To sit on the bench.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
Yo, City wants to get
City.
involved.
I don't know.
Quite well, yeah.
Grealish, yeah.
Yeah, Grealish. I mean, it was funny at the start of the season. I remember looking back recently on all the tweets and stuff saying he's going to be amazing, this, that, and the other. Same with Lukaku. And then, like, I think like Sancho has had more goal involvements in a month than Grealish has.
Would you have him at Man U?
What?
Grealish. Like, obviously, if you didn't know how like underachieved he has been this season, would you have had him?
Mm-hmm.
Probably, yeah.
Not for 100
Not
million,
for
though.
I'm not 100 million. But Man United were going to buy him if Villa went down. Remember when the ball crossed the line and when they were about to go down, and there was a controversial goal that was going to send them
yeah.
down, and then they get sent down.
Was it against Sheffield?
Yeah,
Was
and
it? Yeah.
Man United were going to buy him for like 30 million or something
Mhm.
because of the relegation, and then they obviously stayed in the league, and then like City went on to buy him. So Man United obviously
It's
wanted
kind of like a
him.
bullet dodge type
I
of
think
way. I think he's a great player, but he's just £100 million. He's not going to be a difference maker. He hasn't been a difference
No.
maker.
I think Sancho's got more of a ceiling, and I think Sancho is
He's going to be
better player
world star.
already in my eyes, because he's playing in a rubbish Man United team and he's producing double stats from
Mhm.
Grealish. I know Grealish on the bench, but in that City team, everybody should be scoring and assisting
Yeah, we
goals.
should be getting more goals than him.
Yeah, exactly. I don't get it, but like, yeah, those two teams are remarkable. And it's amazing what those two managers have done. Albeit the money that Pep spent is ridiculous, but
Yeah.
like,
I mean, it's kind of like
but it's good.
Celtic
It's
and
good
Rangers
for-
of the
yeah.
English Premier
Yeah.
League, but just kind of smaller scale.
But on the combined 11, but who would you have in the centre backs? So we went, who is it?
Van Dijk.
Alisson in goal,
I'm saying Walker. But
Walker,
Walker,
or Trent. Trent for me.
yeah.
I think Walker.
Walker.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
Walker.
Centre backs.
What, left back first? Before
Left back.
Robertson or Cancelo? That's
I love Robertson, but
I love
like
Cancelo as well.
Cancelo for me, man.
It would
Yeah.
have to be Cancelo.
Yeah,
He's-
Cancelo. He's just like
He's not even a.
he's put a different meaning to
He's
left
not a
back.
quote unquote left back. Is
Nah,
he?
he's not.
So like, and then
Van Dijk.
Van Dijk.
Van Dijk,
he has to
centre
be
back.
I'd put Diaz next to him.
Yeah, Diaz, Van Dijk. 3 in the middle.
Three
3.
in the middle. Yeah. But, CDM is Fabinho,
Fabinho.
Rodri. I'd say Fabinho.
Fabinho.
Centre mids.
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne.
De
has to go.
Bruyne.
I'd say De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva.
Mm-hmm.
So good, man.
And then the front three, I'd do Salah. Salah has to be there.
Salah on the right. I don't know, man. I love Riyad Mahrez, I love him. but
You could put
I'd
Salah,
want him in the team. I think
Salah
I'd play
in
him
the
on the
middle.
left.
Salah in the middle, Mahrez on the right.
Could, yeah.
Because they both don't have quote unquote.
False, like a striker.
Striker.
Yeah.
So Mahrez on the right, Salah in the middle.
Jack Grealish.
Definitely not, man. Mane.
I'd put Mane because I rate Mane. I know
Mhm.
he's not been as, but I think he's a game changer.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, so you got Mane, Salah, and Mahrez.
Dangerous, man.
Let's do a combined Man United
Nah.
Tottenham team.
They won't even get on the bench.
I know, but yeah. Talking of our old friends, Man United. I mean, what has happened? Well, we know what was going to happen, but like
Yeah.
it's went
The
bad.
summer rebuild's coming.
Yeah, Ten Hag.
Yeah, for the last
We're
4
gonna
years.
be back
it's
where we
happened.
belong.
Last
For the
4
last 4 years, the summer build.
Summer rebuild.
Back where we belong, top 4.
Top 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I constantly say it like I'm a broken record. It's just like it's from the top down.
Yeah.
It's the Glazers, man. It's just.
I know when people say that with Glazers and that, but yous have spent the same as Man City.
Yeah, I know, but like.
And like I've said, I know you're saying that the money doesn't necessarily come from the owners and comes from different people, and it's like corrupt basically, but it's the recruitment that's let you down. And see when people say Glazers out, I understand that to a certain extent.
I think what they mean by that is the people in the board out that are head of
yeah.
recruitment, the owners, the other people that are on the
I don't get how you could make so many signs and get so many wrong
Oh, it's,
continuously.
it's remarkable. I
And
don't get
like
it.
they've had Falcao, Di Maria come in, these superstars.
Schweinsteiger, Depay,
Come on, man. Ronaldo.
But
Ronaldo's been great, like in terms of goal scoring, but like it was a PR move. Like you
It's
were
a
saying
PR move
earlier.
and it unbalanced the team in terms of who we already had.
Pogba.
To be honest, if Pogba was the player that he was going to be and made out to be, he
Mhm.
was going to be a good signing for that amount of money.
Mhm.
But I think because he plays in a France team where he's next to Kante, who's
Nah,
basically
it's-
two players,
Yeah,
he's covered and,
I mean,
and he
that
can just do what he
France
wants.
team, yeah, I mean it's
And I think people saying, "Oh, it's not the France Pogba." That France team is a once in a lifetime team.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's like the golden generation.
And he's in there because he's in there and he's playing in a role where he doesn't need to defend. Whereas in the Man United team, he's going to have to defend because we don't have a Kante.
He's the most inconsistent player I've seen
Oh, he is.
at Man U.
I think he's inconsistent for France, but I think like it's obviously not in the same.
The results take it away. I think
Take it away.
results and other players.
But I've seen him play for them, and I'm like, he was alright. He was decent, and then and then he plays another match for Man United, and he's rubbish, and I'm like, because like you've not got the same players around you.
See, when he got 4 assists against Leeds at the start of the season, you go, oh, he's
This could be
here.
it.
He's
here.
finally turned up.
And then he
Drops a 5 out of 10 next week.
and then he gets injured for like 2 months, and I'm like,
That's what's so frustrating though, because he's probably the most talented midfielder in the
he's-
world.
yeah, I think he is. I back that. I'd
Yeah.
back that fully, but like, yeah, it's so frustrating watching
Yeah.
him play. And it's just like, I just want him gone, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't be bothered with his agent as well.
So is Ten Hag the right manager then?
Yes.
Out of all the managers that are
Yes,
right now,
Mhm.
Ten Hag.
yes.
I think so.
Yeah, I do. I believe so, because I think he offers something completely different from what we've had, and I think because of what I've heard through like the press and the Twitter and stuff, like it's like he wants control of like the transfers. He wants control of his coaching staff, which I think Mourinho didn't. He tried to, but like he still had people from the previous coaching setup, and then Solskjaer just mixed and matched loads of coaches.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like both those managers and Van Gaal didn't have full control over the recruitment, because there was always, I mean, even Mourinho clashed with the board because he wanted a centre back.
Yeah.
Remember when he wanted Maguire the season before?
Yeah.
It was age, and then
I know Maguire gets stick, but he was a top
Oh,
centre back
he was.
before United.
But I'd still think that if that Man United team has a good CDM base partnership, he doesn't get exposed as much.
Nah.
And I think the person behind him in goal exposes him as well for his dodgy distribution.
De Gea.
As much as I
He
love him
gets
as a shot,
so much hate, man. I don't see it. I know he's not a distribution keeper, but he pulls out saves that have saved you so many times,
But I
especially this season.
but I think the saves are not made if the defence and the midfield is sorted. I don't think he has to.
Yeah, no, of course.
And I think I don't think Henderson's the answer either, but I think De Gea will stay for a season, but I don't think he's the long term goalie.
Nah, of course
I
not.
think he's gone within 2-3 seasons, to be honest.
Donnarumma.
Donnarumma, you think
No chance, he's not coming.
I can't get
I'll
Donnarumma?
take him, please.
I think he's a wee bit overrated.
Oh.
I said it. He is.
Oh.
Like after the Euros, he's just. I don't think he's been the same keeper. I've seen him in games and he's put mistakes in. He's not. He doesn't look the same.
But speaking from a former goalkeeper's point of view here, expert opinion, I think he's pretty good.
Oh no, I'm not saying he's bad, right? But he is top class. But he's just. I think he's a wee bit overrated.
Yeah. Definitely since
Since the
Since
Euros,
then, yeah.
I mean, he's set such a high standard there, and rightfully so. He was world class, but
it's probably the
after
pressure
that,
put on him as
yeah.
well. 'cause
Of
he can't
course,
go
yeah.
out.
and as well as Italy got knocked out the World Cup qualifiers, which was
Embarrassing.
mad.
It's embarrassing the way they got knocked out, to be fair, though. Like, they shouldn't be getting knocked out to North Macedonia.
No, with all
No.
due respect with them, but
He was in goal, wasn't he? Oh, dear.
I mean, I don't think he could have done anything about the goal. It was an
No.
absolute wonder strike, but it was like what they had 30 shots, they only had 2 or 3, and they scored. It's like a FIFA game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like a classic FIFA game or something.
Yeah.
Do we think Scotland beat Ukraine?
It's a lose-lose for us if, in that game, though.
Because if we beat them, we're like, oh,
the whole world are going to be like, oh, you beat Ukraine.
Poor show.
Why did you do that? And if we lose, it's going to be embarrassing because
Oh,
what
you
the
lost
country.
them, exactly.
But like, I think we will.
Yeah, I think we'll win. I think we've got
I think Wales are the problem. Because if Bale and
Bale
Ramsey
and
turn,
Ramsey.
if they turn up,
Ramsey's past it. We've seen it for Rangers. We've seen it for Rangers.
Oh.
Where was he at Ibrox?
oh,
Yeah, that's true. It is true. I mean, he scored a goal against us, but
it was good.
He
movement.
doesn't look that good.
it was a.
To be fair, in his prime,
Oh,
he was
decent.
something
He was
else.
very
But
good.
he's always been
Nah,
ridden
he
with
was very
injuries.
good.
He's always been ridden with injuries.
Mm.
Yeah, I think if he didn't have his injuries, he'd be closer to what Bale was. But like, obviously not on the same
What
level.
for, like Wales and that, or
Just Wales and Wales.
yeah.
Just like he's general
the
football.
type of player?
He's not world
like
class,
the
but like he'd be
the
very
caliber. You know what I mean?
Good.
Like,
Yeah, he'd be a very, very good player.
Mhm.
I think he was on his day, but he was on an Arsenal team that was destined for like top 4 finishes
Mhm.
constantly and never actually.
took it for granted.
Yeah,
top
no,
4.
they did as well. Yeah. They might not even make it now.
But I mean, who has Wales really got?
After them,
Mm-hmm.
no one. That's the whole point. It's like
Are Wales in the final then now? Are they?
That's who we play.
That's who we play after
If we beat
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
It was them or Austria, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, just need to. I don't know, man. We can beat them. It's
Yeah, I think it's just about
depends, like, turn
nullifying
up.
nullifying Bale.
yeah.
Well, that's if Bale's fit. It's like
Nah, he'll be fit for Wales. He always is. No matter what,
Wales
he's
go-
always fit
Wales
for
go
Wales.
for Madrid. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm worried because like Scotland in it. We're
Mm.
famous for fluffing
Bottling it. Yeah.
bottling it. And,
But we've been playing well recently.
yeah, we're on like
Some
a
good results.
9.
Is it like
game.
Tierney's injured. Is he back for the
He's
Ukraine?
touch and go apparently. So, I think that's
It's
a worry.
big miss.
Mm-hmm.
But like, oh yeah, okay. In terms of lineups, who would you play in the Scotland team to play Ukraine?
Ingles
And Tierney isn't fit.
isn't fit.
Yeah.
Ingles,
Gordon.
I'd say Gordon. I like Marshall, but I think Gordon's
Gordon's got a
just.
favourite to him.
He's. I mean, we've seen. Did you see the save that he done today against Edinburgh? Hearts, Hibs, Edinburgh against
One of those
Edinburgh.
teams.
Yeah.
Whatever they were playing, but
Yeah.
I mean, he's what 37, 38, and he's still pulling saves as if he's in his prime.
I think he's the goalie.
Yeah. Although his distribution is rubbish, but I mean, you don't really need that with Scotland. What formation?
Does they play? Like
5-3-3-5-2, but it's like a 5-3-2 when they defend, isn't it? 3 centre halves. And it's the 2 wing backs.
Yeah. So if centre back, it would normally be Tierney, McTominay, and Hanley.
Hanley, that's it.
But I don't.
I think they. Well, if Tierney isn't available, they'd play Liam Cooper. That's the only centre back.
Declan Gallagher.
No, I think.
Porteous.
I think they play. I think they play Robertson in the 3 and then play Hickey on the left wing back.
Oh, they could do that as well. Yeah, Hickey's been.
I
Getting,
think Hickey's great.
yeah.
It's a shame that all our top talents are left backs.
I know.
No strikers, but all
No.
left backs and right backs. And
We're lucky we got Che Adams, man.
no, but like, so who would we play at the centre back position?
So Hanley,
He's nailed on, hasn't
yeah, he's rapid as well
Yeah,
for a
his age.
big guy. And his age, he's rapid.
he? Yeah.
He's very underrated. Hanley, McTominay. I mean,
Would you play
No.
him or Suter?
I'd play Suter as well with McTominay.
So 3 of them.
Yeah, so either Suter, Porteous. I know Porteous a wee bit lack of discipline, but still he can be a good. I mean, that's a bit of
He'll end up hooking one of the Ukraine people.
I don't know.
We'll get them for like a war crime or something.
Yeah, but McTominay, Hanley, I'll go for Suter. Oh, I might go for Robertson then. It's tough. This is a tough one. Robertson, I'd say. Robertson, left centre back. Hanley, McTominay on the right wing back. Who would play there?
Patterson.
He's injured.
Is he?
Yeah, he's out for. He got ankle surgery.
Is he? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna have to be O'Donnell. Oh no!
Always thinking back to that game against England with O'Donnell.
When he
Nearly
snapped
scored a volley, man. I was like,
And he
what?
snapped Grealish on the halfway line. Did you hear what he was saying to Grealish?
Yeah, he's like, nice hair, nice calves.
Yeah.
That is class. But yeah, O'Donnell if Patterson isn't available, and then Hickey, left centre back.
Hickey left wing back.
Left wing back, sorry. Yeah,
Class.
that was a bit.
Wow, okay.
3 centre mids,
Yeah, it'd be the,
or is it
Yeah.
2 centre mids? I can.
wouldn't it be the McGregor, Gilmore, McGinn 3?
Yeah.
And then up front, Che Adams and Dykes. As much as I like Dykes, I think there's a limit to
It's
him.
just a target man. Just head it, flick on, and just try to get in the box for the crosses. That's what he is. But I think our midfield's very strong as well. McGregor, Gilmore, McGinn, and then you've got Jack as well. I really like Jack.
Jack's been playing well.
Very good.
He's a good player. He's a very good player. He's probably, I'd argue, Rangers' best player alongside Morelos.
Yeah. He's a difference maker that you can tell.
He has to play in one of the games, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I think would you play Jack and McGregor alongside each other? Or is that too defensive? Do you lose something when you don't have Gilmore there?
I think so.
I
I
mean,
think Gilmore's playing
in
badly.
any game Scotland plays, they'll always be defensive. I don't think
Mhm.
they'll always be on the front foot and like playing possession and pushing teams into their half. I'd love to see Ryan Jack and McGregor. As much as I love Gilmore, McGregor and Jack are just, I think they're so well suited. I think they'll work well together.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. I think there's areas in the Scotland team that like we need someone else.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a strike. Who do we put up front if they both get injured?
Lee Griffiths.
Oh, don't talk about him. No chance. He's banned. I don't even know who that is actually. Up front.
No, I'm still thinking of Fletcher and he's 42.
Oh yeah, Stephen Fletcher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring up Stephen Thompson and all. Or
Yeah, I know.
Tom man.
Need to bring James McFadden back.
Yeah, bring him up. Chris Boyd and all. Get the band back.
Oh yeah, who else is there? Dykes, Adams.
I genuinely can't think of
No,
him.
I can't think of anyone.
Fraser, but he's not even a striker. He plays him up front sometimes. Christie.
Christie,
Um,
forgot about him. Yeah,
God.
Well, I mean, he's kind of went quiet since he went down south.
Yeah, he's not
he's
really.
played well though. I think he's played well, but it's just I mean, it's Bournemouth. I mean, it's not going to get pure tons of attention, but
I think he was hoping that Bournemouth would go straight up, but there's a bit of worry with like where they are. I don't know. Are they like third or fourth or something?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't really thought of the championship. I
They'll
know
be,
Fulham are
they'll be in the
flying.
playoffs, but won't they? They'll be like in the playoffs too.
Yeah, they'll be in the top six.
Top
but-
6, yeah.
Yeah, there is a lack of depth in that team, and certain areas of the pitch, the aging sort of like Gordon, McGregor, McLaughlin. It's like
Yeah.
there's that boy from Southampton, Angus Gunn.
Yeah, goalkeeper.
Yeah, he might switch to being a Scottish international.
Same with Livermore.
Yeah, he's a right back, but like
Still though, you'd
I
rather
think-
have him than O'Donnell.
and then Patterson. No, yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Livermore, I mean,
Livermore,
he's
Hickey.
what, 8, 19, 20?
Yeah, you have Livermore and then Tierney at left wing back as well. I think Robertson will eventually slot back into the back three for Scotland because of his age.
I think so.
Yeah, and I think he'll switch with Tierney and eventually let Tierney go forward more. But I don't know.
That's good.
Ronaldo's put United 1-0 up.
Has he?
Has he?
What, with a penalty or
7 minutes in now.
Tapping probably.
tapping?
Right, pretty shot from the centre of the box to the centre of the goal.
Yeah. Who assisted him?
Alanga.
Not bad. Not bad.
Hey, come on.
It'll be a one each.
That's
We'll
our
finish one each.
standard. Norwich only. But yeah.
But back to the Prem, but who's going to win? Liverpool, Man City.
Oh.
Who's top? City?
1 point in it. They're
Yeah,
ahead by
I think
1 point.
in it.
I think the running, I think City will win it.
Yeah.
If you look at the games, because Liverpool have to go to Everton. I know Everton are not as good, but it's a derby.
Yeah, it's
They have
still a derby. Do you
and
know,
they have
anything
to
can
play-
happen.
They have to play Man United at Anfield and all. Derby, of course, but like, you know. Hey, don't laugh. Could be a Ronaldo
Give
special.
you a Ronaldo special.
One-off.
2
One-
penalties and a tapping.
Yeah, exactly. That's the special. Come on, man, respect him. But yeah, in terms of the running, I think City will win it. But I think Liverpool win the Champions League.
Close, though. You can just, it only takes one game.
I think Liverpool win the Champions League.
Yeah?
Yeah, talking of Champions League, I think Liverpool win it. Just because I think they'll beat Villarreal.
I'm thinking that as well. I think they'll bar Villarreal, but I mean,
Yeah,
the way
it's-
they've been, Villarreal have been set up so well by Unai Emery, man. He's surprised everyone.
He's done incredibly well.
I don't know why Arsenal got rid of him because they were actually
They
doing
just didn't give
alright.
him time. I mean, they like the results obviously weren't going the way, but it's the same what happened with
I think-
Mikel
I-
Arteta.
I think they were better under him than they are at Arteta.
I think so. What do you think? They played better football?
I just think they were a harder team to play against. I think Arteta's teams, once you break them down and get past their press, I think they're really lightweight. And
I mean, did Emery have Saka?
no.
Did they have Smith Rowe? Did they have
No.
Martinelli?
I
Odegaard?
think he had Martinelli for a season or two.
But yeah, Martinelli must have been about 18, 19.
He had to deal with the whole Lacazette, Aubameyang sort of stuff, and
They just didn't give him time.
yeah, I think
And it shows, like, they papped Wenger out because he was consistent.
even Wenger said he would go for another few seasons. He said that.
Yeah.
In an interview. He would have happily done it for.
That's what they deserve, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The
I think
fans got, like, you never turn your back on your manager,
Mhm.
like,
They're
no
the
matter
most-
how bad it gets.
they're the most toxic fans in the league. I think.
After Man U, yeah.
I think it's because how big we are.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. We are the big team. But yeah. Have you got the lineup for the game?
Sure do.
For Liverpool City.
Yeah.
Right, so let's check. In goal is
Not Edison.
not Edison,
that?
Stefan.
He's the American dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Stefan in goals. Cancelo right back. Stones, RK, Zinchenko. Thoughts on that?
It's interesting.
Surprising.
Surprising.
Very.
Fernandinho, Foden, Bernardo Silva.
Grealish is in there.
Oh god. Still up front and then why does he keep playing Jesus on the right? I don't get this.
No, do you think that might be a trick? He might just.
No, he played on the wing when
They've got a decent bench though.
Aye, the bench. What?
Mahrez, De Bruyne, Rodri, Laporte, Gundogan, Diaz.
I think he's just resting players. Well, he's putting on his B team.
Yeah.
And Liverpool,
They're going for it.
They're going for it. They've put Alisson, Arnold, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson.
Keita, Fabinho, Thiago, Salah, Diaz.
Mane. Bench they've got.
Bench isn't that strong.
Well, they've got Jota, Jones, Henderson, Firmino, and then Milner. It's strong.
Kelleher.
It's the strongest their bench has been for
Last couple of years.
time, but like yeah. Arsenal before the lineup, something on Arsenal.
Yeah, about Emery as well.
I think they deserve it though. Same with United players. I think they deserve it as well. What they get.
I mean, Arsenal have good games, but then they just lose. They lose to 90th minute.
The top four was theirs, and then they've
Was
bottled
theirs
it,
to lose?
and now Tottenham are going to get it.
Yeah.
I think what Tottenham.
As well. They look good under Conte.
Yeah,
as
they've
well. You
got a
can
lot
start
better.
to see like the way they're playing.
And they'll have poor games, but they'll win. They'll
Yeah.
grab a last minute winner.
Tottenham will surprise us next season.
I think they will. Yeah. I think
Like they get good signings, like Kulusevski. Like he wasn't the best at Juventus, but when he's came here, man, he's been on form.
Saying
He's
that,
been
Tottenham got
lightning.
beat by Brighton earlier.
Oh, did they get beat?
No way, did they?
1-0.
Wow.
Yeah, so they'll have their bad games.
See if Man United win the Norwich game, they go level on points for Tottenham.
Do they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Still a chance for top four.
That look again.
Don't want to say anything in case he drinks
Oh
it.
god. It'll probably be like 2-1 by the time we start recording to Norwich.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think what Levy's done at Tottenham with this season, I think like it's the first kind of clever decision he's made.
What, getting Conte?
Yeah, I think that's the sign of an actual big club making a good move in the season. 'Cause I think Mourinho.
He was the only available one, wasn't he? Conte.
Well, I think
Who was he at? He was free agent, wasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah,
Conte.
he left them.
Inter.
I think even signing the guy from Wolves. What's his name again? San.
Oh no, it's Sprinto Sanchez, Santos or whatever. Aye.
I think that was a really poor appointment.
Yeah.
I don't know how you'd align that his philosophy with Tottenham. I know Tottenham aren't a big club in that, but like shots fired. Yeah, but I mean, like they're so defensive the way they played. I mean, Wolves now are so much better than when they were.
It was just counter attacking, wasn't it? It was just.
Yeah, but now they're actually playing good football under that Bruno Large guy. I think they've went up a level as well. But like, I think that's such a poor appointment.
Very
They've
poor.
recovered it with Conte. I think.
You need to give Conte time. You need to give him time.
he's-
You need to give him signings that he wants because he is a serial winner. He will win you things.
Yeah, I think if they give him the money, like you said, I think he'll win.
I think he'll win like FA Cup or.
I don't think he'll win the league because I think
No, I don't think he just doesn't have the squad yet for that. And
I don't think Levy will give him it either because I think Levy's stingy, and he always has been. He's stingy under Pochettino as well. So yeah,
I mean, they've set the bar high, reaching the Champions League final, so they're wanting to now be at least that. They're wanting to win it now, and they're wanting to challenge for the league. Should they be doing it? No, because they're a small club. But but like they don't have a history of winning trophies.
No.
Like they don't. I mean, it's
Look at Leicester.
Leicester as well. That like,
Semi-final of the
they've
cup.
won the FA Cup. They've won the league.
yeah.
It was
Leicester are
that was-
technically a bigger club than Tottenham.
They are, yeah.
It wouldn't be that hard though.
No, of course not. You just need to win a League Cup, and you're bigger than Tottenham.
I mean, talking to Leicester in that Conference League semi-final, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Who will win that?
But it's for Diddy teams.
Yeah, I know. That's why
Yeah,
Celtic went out because
that's
they're too big for that cup.
Yeah.
That's why.
We can't be in that. No, but who will win it? I don't. There's
I thought Bodo Glimt was going to win it. Honestly,
Roma destroyed.
4-0. I thought
Did you see
Bodo
Mourinho's
Glimt-
post match?
when he striked up the ball and ran off.
And
Oh,
and
man, I
also
love
in
Mourinho.
his press conference, he said he was like saying, you saw the bigger team steamrolled from start to finish. It was men against boys. And all
Really?
that.
Was he saying that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, and he's like, respect to Bodo Glimt, but we are the bigger team. I was like, okay. But yeah, they're playing Leicester in the semi, and I think the other semi's like Marseille versus.
I mean, that's like another Europa League. Like,
And there's good
it's
teams
the
in it.
Europa League basically as well. But
There's good teams in it though. It's like it's a good quality past a certain
probably
stage.
better than the actual Europa League semi-finalists now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's crazy what finishing, and I think it's like Rangers and what West Ham's done is
They've done incredible.
They've done
I mean,
incredible.
the teams that Rangers have beaten this season.
I mean, I thought Lyon were going to win, man,
but
especially at home.
I think Lyon were destined to lose that game because of how cocky they were.
I know.
The Dembele winged him.
Dembele wing.
The president in his pre-match thing saying there's no way this team beats us and all that.
Why would you say that? It's one each. Anything can happen.
Just keep quiet.
Keep quiet and just say, job's not done. We've still got another game. Anything can happen, but we're still going to stay focused. But nah, they're going to say, nah, there's no way they're going to win this. There's no way they're going to come back.
And to be honest, West Ham destroyed them.
Yeah, they deserved it.
They deserved it as well, and I think they will beat Frankfurt. To be honest,
Yeah.
yeah, I think they will, and I think Leipzig will beat Rangers. To be honest, because I think Leipzig's quality.
Oh, and Kunku.
As much as it's good for Scottish football, if Rangers got to the final and all that,
Mhm.
in terms of the coefficient, I think Nkunku and the other players in that team, they're like
Oh, mate, they're
the top three German
They're a
teams.
strong game.
Leipzig, man.
They're Champions League
Nkunku's going to go to a bigger club.
Oh, he will eventually.
Was,
Has to.
what, 30 goals or something? Like 20-something assists?
And he's not even a striker.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But I think if Rangers were to lose the semi tomorrow, they've only got Europa League left.
And
So they might just
Because
go
they,
all
they,
out.
they already, I think they
Nothing
already
to
think the
lose.
league's done, which
Aye.
it isn't like it's not done.
No,
I think it's done.
I
I don't think.
You think it's done?
Yeah. I don't think Rangers can win.
I don't think it's done.
I don't think the league's done.
No.
I can't.
I mean, it's 6 points, 5 games. Oh, Celtic need to lose 2 games. In Rangers,
I can see Hearts at home being a difficult one.
yeah.
I can see the other Rangers game
I mean,
at home being a draw.
Who is it?
here.
So who's in the split? It's Hearts, Dundee United,
Ross
Ross
County.
County,
Celtic,
Rangers.
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 There's one more. team.
Aberdeen in it? No.
No,
They're like 8th or something.
Ross County. Is it Motherwell?
Motherwell. That's it.
Yeah, Ross County, Motherwell, Hearts, Rangers, Celtic, and then Dundee.
Dundee United. Yeah.
United, yeah.
Hearts will give us a tough game. Dundee United away will be a tough game as well, even though we won like 3-0 last time. But it's just like
It's tough.
it is tough when you go away. Or I think no, it might be home. Dundee United at home. But we'll pump them anyway. But
I think the remaining games, I think only 2 of them are away.
are they? It is ours to lose, but I'm still going to say it's not. It's far from over. Far from over.
I can see Celtic slipping up, but I can also see Rangers slipping up.
No,
So I'm like, I think Rangers will slip.
Rangers will slip up, 100%.
Like you said, they'll focus on.
They're going to be focused more on Europa League.
And they have to. They play Celtic, and then one of the other semi-finals is like in the week. I think either before or after that game in May, where they play Leipzig. So are they going to rest their team against Celtic and then play, or
I
are they
think-
going to play their full team and then play
I
Celtic?
think if you ask any Rangers fans, if you say what would you rather have, Europa League or the league, I think they'll say the Europa League.
I think
Yeah.
they'll say the Europa League as well. But if they win the Europa League, does that mean Celtic get knocked down to qualify, or is the first place
Still,
secured?
yeah.
I think it is secured.
You know, the
Secured.
first place is secured. Second place is into the qualifiers.
Oh, so if they win, they just get put in straight
Yeah.
away?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then
Third place?
Third place would probably get the qualifier.
Qual-
So that means Hearts would get qualifiers for the
For you-
Champions League.
to the Champions League.
Imagine that,
my
3 Scottish
God,
teams in the
man.
Champions League. That'd be nuts. I don't. They could.
But that's the way forward, though. You like the
That
more
brings
teams
money.
get into the Champions League, the more money. It's better for Scottish football.
As much as the sort of finishing point in terms of VAR in Scotland, it's a bad
That
idea.
needs to come in.
I think it needs to come in. But I see the bad side of it, obviously, but like I think the standard of refereeing up here.
I mean, if VAR's in place for that semi-final, Hearts and Hibs would have been at least another few red cards.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
easily.
But to be fair, they are red cards.
I think it generates more money as well because, like, obviously it costs like 60 grand to put VAR in place in each stadium. But like,
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I mean,
60 grand's nothing to Celtic.
Yeah,
It's
but
something
it's
to
the wee
syringe.
teams though.
to the wee teams,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
St Johnstone, Dundee.
But how
Dundee,
are they going to put it in place? Like, because obviously they're saying there's going to be a meeting at like end of April.
pass it, and I think it will get passed.
Yeah.
So will the clubs be paying it?
Yeah, as a collective. But I think Celtic and Rangers, if they get the Champions League money, will just pay for it all and sort of.
I can
That's-
see Celtic, but Rangers definitely not.
But I think like, I just think they could pay it and just like say, here you go.
Get rid of Astro pitches as well. They need to do up their stadiums for
Yeah.
VAR. They need to do them up. And obviously, I know it's like financially not available, but
I think Scottish football's on the up again. I think they do.
Yeah.
Genuinely think that. But like, yeah, it's looking good for Scottish football. I think in terms of European, just in terms of the quality as well. I think it's improved heavily
Big
in
time.
the past 10 years. If you think about it, at the start of the sort of 9 in a row run with Celtic, the quality of football,
Mhm.
Dyler and all that was.
I don't think there's been two better teams. Like, well, you can
Well-
argue for Rangers, but for Celtic, it's the best team I've seen in my lifetime anyway. The way they play football, it's the best team that I've seen
I think
under Ange,
Martin
and it's still
O'Neill
more to come.
Martin and the team was something else. So that
No, of course, yeah.
They
I
got
know my
teams
dad.
up-
My dad's always been saying how good they were, but like even he said like for
Yeah,
Brendan Rodgers' team was better than Martin O'Neill's,
yeah, I
the
suppose.
Invincible team.
Yeah, I suppose. I just think that the UEFA Cup final with Larson and all that. I think that team was one of the best Celtic teams that there has been. Obviously, it's the older ones who won the European Cup and all that.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. Anything else to add before we?
No.
No,
It's a
just
good wee
hopefully
chat.
Celtic will win tomorrow.
Yeah.
Go for another treble.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be back soon. See you later.
Hope you've enjoyed it.
Ammo.